Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. My name, for the second time, because I tried to start this a minute ago and it crashed, so the second time we're doing this, my name is Mr. Evil Dragon, and welcome to Zandvoort by the Sea. Nice sunshine, we just came, well, it's not quite sunny, but we are by the sea. Joining me as per usual, well, when I say as per usual, it's the first time he's joined me this season, but as per hopefully usual, potentially, we'll see, is Mr. Matt. It's Mr. Redman, so say hello everyone.
Hello everybody. Yes, Evil is not alone today. I have joined him, so hopefully I'll be able to spectate and watch along with Evil a fantastic Zandvoort Grand Prix.
Yeah, here on the circuit, which last hosted a race back in 1985. That was won by Niki Lauda. Now, of course, Niki Lauda is no longer with us, unfortunately. I wish he was. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Niki Lauda driving an F6, but he's not, unfortunately. The man, the legend, and it is raining currently here in Zandvoort, so this could be a very interesting qualifying actually. So really, we've got a very big surprise already straight away, first lap out in qualifying, and it's starting to rain, so this is going to be very interesting, Matt, because basically whoever is first on circuit, which I believe it might be Tom, he's got a good shot here getting straight pole.
This is a one-shot qualifying session for everybody, but this could be probably one of the shortest qualifying sessions, as we already have a spinner of Trappy Formula on his outlap, and he has binned it at the last corner already, so track conditions are worsening already.
Yeah, indeed, track conditions worsening already. On board we are then with the Haas. This is coming through turn 7. You can see rear end twitching. We've got the other Haas who's got either off or he's letting people through. We've got cars going off absolutely everywhere on the circuit. Sector 1, 2 and 3 is yellow. So, difficult conditions out here is now through into the chicane we come. And just look how treacherous it's already looking out here in qualifying.
Unbelievable. I wouldn't like to be on the track right now. I would probably have binned it into the barrier right now, I must say. Particularly at, I'll just get it right, at the exit of turn 8, that curve now.
Oh, and round goes, sorry, there it is. That, the Haas of Tom, round at the last corner, and this is just absolutely atrocious conditions. You don't want to be parking it there. That is an awkward place to be pointing. Shabby up to P1 then, so he's straight away pole position provisionally. Mika in second, and surely that is going to be your grid.
Maybe it looks like the top 4 that'll stay as it is, but now it seems to be a battle for P5 as Harry sets in 1 minute 90. As we see, McLaren, is that what you're going off for?
Yeah, there's lots of cars going off. The Alpine went off there. The McLaren's gone off. There's absolutely no grip out here. And this is the worst conditions. This banking here in the wet. And I've seen it before, especially in single player. If it rains around here and you're on the wrong sides, you are going to have the mother of almighty of a shunt. But unsurprisingly, everyone's in the pit lane.
As we see our first intermediate runner of Wolsey, I believe that's how you say his name, on an outlap. So let's see how close they can get to the lap time of Shabby. I don't think his lap time will be a threat. We'll have to wait and see as the Alpine goes off the track on his in lap. It's just absolutely treacherous out there.
Yeah, it's just getting heavier and heavier upon heavier as this session will go along, and you can see that rear end twitching. And as per usual on this game, it's difficult to really gauge how wet it is. All I can tell you is it is definitely intermediate conditions. If it's the other way around, it could be dry conditions right now, because we've seen that can happen. But nonetheless, here, Zandvoort by the Sea, the country which does have a lot of its country under the water by technicality. Most of the sea level is, well, most of the country is below sea level, but luckily, because of all the dikes and, of course, one of the big wonders of the world, which is the one thing I can't pronounce, but the big dam thing that is goes across most of the top of the Netherlands, which holds out all the water and keeps everyone nice and, well, dry. Currently, though, it's not very dry.
As we see, oh, sorry to butt in there, the Ferrari of Jay just cut off the Aston Martin going into the pits there, but luckily they were both going into the pits, but that was quite close, that actually, to be honest. But yeah, all the dry tyre runners now are going into the pits, and we have an Alpine inside one of the Aston Martin mechanics. That's something I thought I'd never see.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's not something you normally want to see, but unfortunately that's happened. Well, let's go on board then, where we've got Trap Formula. He's currently on a lap. Then coming through Tarzan Bock. Then, of course, Bock being, I believe that means turn or curve. I'm pretty certain. I'm not very good with Dutch terminology, but into turn 2 and then into 3, which is the Machterbock, I believe. Pronounced something like that. Through we come then. And the only other corner on this circuit which I can pronounce to my head used to be Marlborough, which isn't really called Marlborough anymore, but nonetheless, it's always going to be called that corner, no matter what. Before we come then, Purple Sector 1, Purple, so he is quick then, this Red Bull. It's a good lap. I don't know if it's going to be outright Purple, because of course, we are in wet conditions, and as you can see by the onboard, it is soggy. And through turn 9, I believe it is, then coming toward, which is the second DRS zone, of which no one's going to be using, but let's see what they can do then. Trap Formula, Purple Sector 2. So, Purple Sector 1, a Purple Sector 2. Is it possible to go still purple here? I mean, we've seen it happen before, so are these drivers on the dry tyres are bound to get surprised here, because are these intermediates? Well, a big twitch left from the Red Bull, but he manages to catch it. Can he go quickest? I know he definitely can't go quickest, but it's good enough for 4th position then for Trap Formula, which is an outstanding lap there. I mean, he went purple on 3 seconds, which is obviously just slightly bugged out then on our end, but good lap.
Yeah, that looks a really good lap there. I was looking at his throttle inputs. He was trying to do it flat until he had that little twitch there. So, yeah, that was a bit of a scary moment for Formula.
Here we are then, on with Wazzy, who's currently coming through the second last corner. His teammate then also crossing the line, the other Red Bull of Ben. He's just crossed the line now, I believe, to start his next lap. But now, the Alfa Romeo, of course, which just signed George Russell, if you didn't know. Shocking news. No one had expected it, but Wazzy goes across the line. P5 right now. We got a yellow flag for, I believe, that'll be Trap Formula he's gone around in. It is.
He's destroyed one of their brake marker bars, so I hope that don't mess up people's braking points. As look at the other Red Bull of Ben, who seems to be on a good lap so far. Touching wood, I hope I haven't jinxed him. And I've noticed a lot of drivers are not using that exit curb on this year's game at all at turn 8. I know I keep mentioning it, but someone is going to clearly try and push it a lot more, and then just completely lose the rear, and it will end in tears. I know it's gonna happen to a driver, but I'm not gonna say to who, because that's unfair.
Yes, to someone it will go off, and knowing me as per usual, I will say someone is doing well, and then they'll immediately touch said curb, and that then Matt can ponder my thoughts correctly. But meanwhile, Ben, he is currently on a good lap right now as he comes through the last corner. Nice and smooth for the Red Bull. Might get a distant toe off the Ferrari, but does he improve? By the answer, he does, but he doesn't really do a lot, of course. He stays at 117.779. Next car crossing the line, I believe it might be Cybeck, who's currently through the last corner in the other McLaren. He crossed the line. He's currently P9. The Mercedes that's behind him of Borrell crossing the line. He is currently in P7, is now Matt Tibos, I believe, crossing the line. And he also now goes P9. Who's next across the line? Is he going to get P9? Is Rowan going to take the P9 slot? Let's see. He's currently 9 temps down, so I don't think he is. Well, never mind. He goes P4. So what do I know?
Currently, our championship leader, Shabby, is on for pole position so far. Provisional pole position, I must say. He's not got it yet. Still, how long is there to go? I do not have the countdown. How long's left of the session?
Should be 11 minutes, give or take, underway. We've got a few yellow flags for, I believe it's a Haas. It might be Harold, or his teammate Tom going slowly into the pit lane. But certainly yellow flags blasting themselves all the way down the straight, though I'm not too sure what for. I don't see anyone else going seriously slowly. 7 minutes to go.
There's cars entering the pit lane slowly as we have another yellow flag. I think it's just cars letting one another by, and it's just the game thinking it's a slow car on track, we must have the yellow flags out. But I don't think that's anything to worry about yet, I don't think.
And meanwhile, Big up to 11th position, getting a lovely toe off for Harry there, as again you can see more yellow flags flying as people get out of the way of each other.
Who's on our lap currently? I'm just trying to find if there's anybody on our lap currently, I think Borrell is on a lap at the moment in the Mercedes, currently down in P8. A nice and tidy sector 1 so far. The game will say he's probably purple in the first sector, but we know that's just a graphical bug. But no, he's saying he's 2 seconds off his personal best, so I don't think he's on for a flyer at the moment.
Yeah, you can see it's the rev. It looks like it's slightly maybe getting heavier, of course. Now, we don't know exactly what the race is going to be doing. Of course, we don't have the powers, which, of course, some tiers may have. I'd love to get the TADs, of course, down here in F6. It would be quite nice. Very, very useful to use for some people who can read it pretty quickly. I can't read it all the time because dyslexia, that means I just struggle seeing things. But nonetheless, I struggle seeing things anyway, even if I do have. Meanwhile, Shabby, I think he's happy now. I think he's got pole position in his mind, so there's no point in him going back out again. He was the first driver to set a lap time on those dry weather tyres, 1:15.0. I don't think anyone's going to beat that unless it's an incredible lap time.
I'm guessing by that retirement from Shabby, the track conditions are worsening, so I'll be surprised if I do see any improvements as Roan, I think that's how you say his name, Roan, is about to cross the line. Will he set a quicker lap time? He does, a 16.8, so it's just proven me wrong there. It maybe looks silly, so...
Circuit may look like it looks like it's getting worse, but we know this game, it can say it's getting worse, but in fact it's getting better, as I think Tom goes across the line there, or track formula. Someone definitely needs to improve very much. I think it might be Mick, who's currently P2, Rowan P3, Tom, so everyone just starting to sort themselves into position right now. And Matt, you've got to say that around this circuit, how do you think of this circuit anyway?
It's challenging, it's different, that's for sure. One thing I will say about it, I know I keep mentioning, is be careful of the curbs. That is just the one thing I will say to drivers, is just be careful, because one little nibble of the curb and that's your rear end saying, you don't think I'm going to be doing that? No way, and it'll just give way, and that's your race sort of ruined. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what lines the drivers are taking in today's race, I must say, Evil. Yeah,
it's very much going to be a matter of who is going to be putting their chickens in the correct basket. And right now, Jake, he's coming across the line in the Ferrari. Looks like a decent lap time. Good enough for 7th position for the number 49, as yellow flags behind, as Kelvin has got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision. Now, let's have a look, Claire, and see, where has he touched someone then? He must have been the Alfa Romeo ahead of him, of Ditamo, but that's very odd. Has Ditamo got damage? Front wing, potentially? Yeah, Ditamo's got front wing off, so what has happened between those two then?
I wonder if was he in the way or something as he was on his lap? I'll have to, well, I'd say I keep an eye on the chat. I'm not within the chat, so you may just have to see if there's any driver discussion into what's happened there, but from the looks of things it looks like he got in the way of Kelvin of the Alfa Romeo, because it's a bit of an unusual place to crash there on the little straight towards the last corner there, so strange one that.
It's a very strange one indeed, but nonetheless, of course, small mistakes can happen. You can see more yellow flags flying as Ben currently down in 12th position, his teammate currently in 6th, so his team are doing an absolutely beautiful job so far. But nonetheless, though, 3 minutes to go. I'm not quite sure if we're going to see too much more times jumping. I'm just seeing one of the Ferraris slightly lagging. That is of Sheringham, currently in P15 then for the Ferrari team. As across the line there, he's currently in 7th position. So I do say no one's going to be improving, and then they immediately improve the lap time. So what do I know? All I can tell you right now is I will be surprised and gobsmacked if we see the top 2 changing at all. Because, of course, those two, on the softest compound they had 1 lap of it, and they used it. Everyone else, of course, now on the intermediate. And it's just proving to be a very twitchy and difficult situation indeed.
Yeah, I'm just riding on board of Ollie Flavel at the moment in the Williams, just trying to put the throttle down. The rear end is just not having it. But if he doesn't set a better lap time, he'll be starting the race on the medium compounder tyres, whilst those who have set their best lap on the intermediates will have a free choice, because I'm guessing by Ollie going out on the mediums, it's going to be a dry race, because there's no other real reason into why you'd set your first lap on the medium tyre, knowing it's going to be wet.
Well, I mean, the theory is, of course, and it should be that if you do, of course, it's declared as a wet session in qualifying, no matter what, you'll be able to start any tyre you wish. So, the theory, of course, and it is the theory, because you know what this game can be doing sometimes, is they all should be able to do on whatever the tyre they want. As you can see an Aston Martin of Mr. Matt Tibos getting out of the way, as per usual, there of the cars that's going quicker, and that's always good to see. You can see so many yellow flags, people backing off the lap times, of course, and improving. Jake, let's see what he's currently on an outlap right now as we scroll through the drivers, see who is currently where. But what we can say right now is Shabby, Mick up top 2, Rowan in P3, Tom in P4, Ollie currently in P5, as Tom has decided he does not think anyone's going to improve on their lap time. Let's run on board then with Ollie. You can see the rear end squirming around on the power as you come up through the blind, pretty much crest it, and then drop it down. It's like a roller coaster down here. Then build the revs back up into the exit through one of the more difficult corners on this circuit. It's so easy to snatch the car. It'll go for a spin, of course, and we've seen a few Williams go around on this circuit just a few days ago. And let's see currently if Ollie can just about improve. 50 seconds to go here in qualifying. And can Ollie get himself up onto that second row of the grid?
I'm just riding on board with Trappy Formula at the moment. I'm touching woods as I don't want to jinx him. As I say that, he almost loses the rear as he exits the corner out of here. I said corner because I've forgotten which corner number it is at the moment, because I was looking to the right to see a car off in the barrier.
Yeah, that's Wazzy off into the barrier then. So he spun at the last corner. In comes Ollie then, so he does not improve his lap time. So he is bailed out of that one. But here then, Trap Formula, next across the line, I believe. I think you can have the Alpine of Harry on Milk coming through the last corner. His Milk goes up to 15th position. Where does Trap Formula go? Can he improve? The answer, no, by only 33/100ths of a second. Next across the line will be Harry then. He crosses the line, he goes 15, takes that away from his teammate. Next will be Sheringham, crosses the line, does not improve. Saipe crosses the line, he goes up to P6 then. Now we got the hat of Herald. He'll cross the line, does he improve? No, doesn't. 40,000th of a second down. And I think last across the line might be Borrow, doesn't improve, and Jake seems he's gone round.
Yeah, he's just trying to get a bit greedy with the power there at the last corner, all or nothing with the last lap, and he stays in P12 and his teammate in P17. Not the best qualifying session there for Ferrari, but as we were going to mention towards the end, Ben picked his teammate at the last couple of seconds of qualifying to finish ahead.
Actually, my apologies there. I think there is, Trap Formula might still be on a lap actually, you know, because I think he might have just crossed the line just before it ran out, which is, if it has, that is beautiful timing then for the Red Bull driver. Let's see, can he improve and get that position back? Well, he's up by a 10.5 in Sector 2, so could be good enough. And this actually might put him into 6th position, or even 5th. Well, never mind, he's not going to do anything now. Round goes the Red Bull into the wall, and well, he was up. But that is just how easy it is to lose it through the last corner, and we could be seeing that so often in the races. There goes the Alpine past him there of Milk. That's Harry actually crossing past him. He's finished his lap time already, but was on for a potential lap time. It could have put him in the top 5. Unfortunately, though, Red Bull spinning around, so easy to do in these wet conditions, means he is now in P8.
Well, I think these wet conditions have jumbled up the grid, shall we say, so it'll be interesting to see what the race will throw at the drivers. I mean, as you know, without TAS we ain't a clue on what the weather is going to be like, but adds more spice to the race. We don't know, you don't know.
Well, I can always ask the drivers in the chat. Let's go and ask the drivers in the chat then. But once we take through that, I'll let you take the qualifying order.
Okie Donkey. So we have P1 current is Shabby. I mean, currently he has taken pole position, has Shabby for 1:15.0, and then look at that gap, 8 tenths from Mika as I get the best tyres on. They qualified on the soft tyre, did Mika and Shabby. They clearly got the best of track conditions. And then we have Ronan in the intermediate tyres, who, if the game goes to plan, they will have the free range of tyres, but it's like you were saying earlier, who knows with this game, it might give everybody a free range of tyre. And we have Tom behind on the intermediates, 1.8 seconds behind, and apparently we've got Nicholas Latifi in P20 on my screen. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes, Nicholas Latifi has joined the session. Can I view Nicholas Latifi? I can't view Nicholas Latifi, but Nicholas Latifi, everyone, has joined the session with 1 second to go. Oh dear. Now, if I'm not mistaken here, I think the lobby's broken because we are currently stuck on 1 second. So somebody has broken the lobby. Now,
everybody retired from the game.
Now I'm wondering what has happened here, and I feel it is Sheringham because he's still on a lap time.
Yeah, I think it is Sheringham actually, because that seems to be the only driver who's out on the track at the moment. I don't know if he's tried leaving and rejoining the lobby, because I've had this in a previous race. This has happened in, not naming leagues because of terms and conditions, and yeah, that fixed the issue. So I don't know if Sherman's currently spectating or watching the stream, but he must be watching.
Well, yeah, I think he's watching. Oh, Lowry's been told to leave and rejoin the. Of course, they will be in communication in the chat, so that's very likely.
Oh,
and you should be able to rejoin. But yeah, top 4 here in the Netherlands is filled by the Dutch show. It's a Dutch 1, 2, 3, 4 here on Zandvoort by the Sea, and of course the top 2 on the soft compound tyres. That is why a 1.8 second gap compared to everyone else. Incredibly lucky from those two, they managed to get that in there from, of course, Ollie in 5th, the British driver from the German, the Scotsman in 7th from, I believe that's Saudi Arabia of Track Formula. He's currently in 8th position. The German in 9th for Wazzy, and then it's, I don't know.
Is it Bosnia?
I don't think it's Bosnia. Someone can let me know what country that is. I literally off the top of my head can't remember. I'm not very good at flags. So yeah, but nonetheless, I was about to say it's I was about to say something, but I'm not going to do that because I might be wrong and I might insult an entire country. So I'm rather not knowing, and I'll be told what it is. But let's see. What's the flag, everyone? Fill in the chat. Let's see what it is.
I may have just googled it.
You've googled it. What's it going to be? Drum roll.
Estonia.
Estonia. Good old Estonia. The one that always wins Eurovision, if I remember correctly. But look, nice sunshine here in Zandvoort. It's nice and warm here in the UK, but it's nice and warm where everyone else is in the world. And as Sheringham has rejoined, so it looks like good old Sheringham's going to get back into it then. Here, yeah. I believe. Now, let's just see if the lobby doesn't decide to do its usual stuff. But indeed, yeah, we go. So it is counting down. So we are going to get, hopefully, a race on. Now, of course, I do remember what the game used to do occasionally, where it gets stuck on the grid and then we'd be sitting here.
No.
For a while, but let's hope that doesn't happen anymore. We don't want that.
I'm hoping not. Because now you've said it now, Evil. I hope it doesn't happen now. I'm touching wood now. I don't want this race to be restarted now.
Well, let's see then. And so now here we are then on the grid then, and should be getting on the way on our formation lap length. So there we go, 1 by 1, like good old Noah's Ark, of course. Around this beautiful circuit, of course, which came back, well, I was going to say last year, but technically this year as well, so it's come back twice now. And what we can say, of course, hard tyres to soft, lap 23 to 27, and of course 20 to 24, of course, as well, brought to you by AWS, the most useful information in the universe.
Looking at the tyre allocations, was it you mentioned it earlier? But the tyre allocation, P6 is it Cyber on the hard tyres, and that's one tyre I avoid on this game because hard tyre is an awful tyre. But I hope it's not awful for him, that's for sure. But getting off the line will be tricky, I must say, for Cyber. So if he can maintain P6 on those hard tyres, that'd be a good start for him.
Yeah, indeed, treacherous for them off the starts. But of course, top two. Yeah, the top two, I believe, yeah, because they didn't set a quicker lap time on the intermediates. I think, yes, you are right. So everyone else who didn't get a lap in and went straight to intermediates and improved, they all start on the tyres they can start wherever they want. Everyone else, like the top two, they've got to start on the soft tyres. So this is going to be a very interesting strategy for the race. So, but of course, it's going to be a one-stop. So really, the top two just going to be hoping no early safety cars. We can bolt away as soon as we can, and it will be scot-free. Sybig in 6th position. He's going to be going to around about lap 24 to 27, of course, and then be setting a set of soft tyres. The mediums, we believe, of course, it's going to be a very interesting race for them. It's a very alternative strategy. I'll be definitely hoping for a safety car, of course, one stop. There we go. 20 to 25 for mediums, of course, and 24 to 25 for the soft compound. But it is at the top two. At the front there, as you can see, everyone getting ready. And let's see then, with 5 red lights here at Zandvoort. And it is lights out, and away we go then. It looks like, of course, the top two get an absolutely perfect start there. But look at that Rona there. Good start for him in the McLaren. Trying to go around the outside straight away then into turn number 1. One of the Aston Martins off into the gravel areas I've seen in the background. But looks like so far so clean up front as Rowan round the outside. He's got yellow flags, and well, I say clean as there's multi-cars off there.
Oh no, that was Sybig involved in the collision between the Haas and the Aston Martin. I think it was Mika, the soft runner down in P10. Dreadful start, but Shabby will have enjoyed every minute of that. I know it sounds awful saying that, but he is now the lone soft runner. He can now try and create a gap from the other McLaren of Ronan, as there seems to be a switch positions between P7 and 8.
Yep, 7 8 going out and into turn number 7, and it's so far pretty much so clean from everyone else, apart from a few trips ups already at the start, but that always can happen, of course. And that number 1, we have got 36 laps to go, of course, around this beautiful circuit, and the atmosphere around here is just going to be electric. Be at the bottom too, Borrell and Tom. Looks like those two have had all sorts of issues. There is Borrell already apparently a lap down on me, but that's just a little bit of a telemetry glitch.
Tamo and Sherman battling side by side. He's trying to look going round the outside at turn 1. Sergio Perez has done this move an awful lot, and he's still stuck it round the outside, and the medium tyre seems to have a lot more grip than the hard tyre, and the Ferrari has just lost the rear trying to battle with Tamo, and there's nothing Tamo did wrong there. In
the wall as well. Tibbles lost his front wing there, so the virtual safety car immediately deployed, and that is going to slow absolutely everyone down as in comes Tom into the pit lane then, and he will be going on a set of medium tyres, and will be going hopefully to around about lap 28 now to set us off. So he's probably hoping actually for a safety car to come out now, because he is well and truly down the order.
Yeah, I'm just struggling to try and get into the right car at the moment, as my telemetry is just completely messed up at the moment, because I was trying to look at the perspective of Sherman to see what happened there, but it just looks like he just lost it under power, really, because his hard tyres just aren't switched on yet.
So easy to do, of course, when you're just in the groove, of course, but Shabby gets it back underway then here in Zandvoort, as the virtual safety car comes in right on cue, actually. As you can see, 1 or 2 cars in the background just squiggling around there on the power, is rowing out in P2 all the way up to P3 so far. The biggest gainer of all this race, by the way, as I just have a little look through everything, it should be, I believe, Harry up 7 positions. The real loser out of this race is Tom down at 15 positions, of course. He is in the pit lane along with Matt as well.
Front wing changes for Tibos and Stradussi. Seem to be caught in a couple of first lap mishaps, but they'll be on their way. They would have been hoping the virtual safety car was still out, but it was timed quite badly for themselves. There's a lot of catching up for them to do at the moment.
Yeah, most certainly indeed. And, well, all we can say right now, of course, long race. But so far, Rowan, minus 1 minute 13 seconds off the race leader as the timing screen decides to try and refresh itself. Should sort itself out in just a few moments' time as they cross the line. But I can tell you that gap right now sitting just about a second. DRS currently activated for the McLaren, and fair play to Rowan, he's keeping up with Shabby actually reasonably well, actually, on those medium tyres, showing that maybe the soft tyres not really the true race tyre around this circuit, because Rowan pulling away substantially from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the ERS left. Shabby has at least 20% less than Ronan as well, so it's not like Ronan's using a lot to keep up either. So Shabby will be worrying a bit here because his tyres will be slowly going off now, and the medium tyres will start having their little moments any time.
Mick up, trying to come up the inside of Harry. Not going to quite do it there. A little bit of Todd's let into the corner as well. I can't imagine that's done any damage to the Aston Martin, but you never quite know, of course. It's always a possibility. DRS back open, of course, for the pair of them. So no way through then into the chicane. I don't exactly know what happened to Mick. It looked like he got caught up then. I think it must have been potentially with Rowan on that number one, because they were side by side. The McLaren was on the outside, and we didn't quite catch it, but round he went. Luckily, no damage though.
I was looking at this between the McLaren and the Alpine. I can't pronounce his name, currently in P12. McLaren had a good exit round the last corner, but there's just not a long enough straight to make the move. So it's all about trying to get a good exit out of the last corner. So I just have to try and keep an eye on that. But it seems to be the closest cars on track at the moment seem to be Formula and Ollie Flavel at the moment. Two Red Bulls trying to get past the Williams. So will it be a bit of teamwork as there's a yellow flag in sector 1? Is that Tom around again? Yeah,
it is Tom dropped turn 1. Doesn't look like he's got any damage though, and that just allowed Lee Aston Martin to come straight back towards him, of course, and these two can have their little race at the back time. Sheringham, by the way, is he's been lapped, has he? Yeah, he's been lapped, I believe. So he's having some kind of either connection issue or something's going on there for the Ferrari, of course. So hopefully everything is okay there. Meanwhile, top two, 3/10 of a second. This could be an opportunity for the lead, you know, actually. And let's see, is he close enough to have a dive into turn number 1? I mean, brave stuff, that.
Williams and Formula. Ollie Flavel, Formula goes down the inside at turn 1. Will Flavel have the grip round the outside? No, he does not. Fantastic move there from the Red Bull drivers. We have another yellow flag in sector 1. What was that for? Or was that just because there was a car overtaking one another and the game thought that was a hazard?
Oh, well, there's certainly an incident there, and that is Sheringham off the road. What has happened there? That looked very interesting indeed, and I've sensed that was a bit of lag actually, and that was with... Was that with Borrell? I think it was with Bovril then, so a bit of bother between those two. I'm not quite sure what happened there. The ghosting was on, so that was very, very odd indeed.
Has he actually rejoined yet? Like, has he been able to take control of his car yet? Because it just does... It looks like an AI's controlling it at the moment, looking at the steering inputs.
Well, it could be possible, of course. I'm not quite 100% sure, but here we are then with Rowan. And again, though, with DRS. Let's see if we can close her up to the back of Shabby. And let's see. Inside line, is he close enough? Is Shabby going to defend it? Is he going to have the dive into turn number 1? Shabby with the outside line, with the slide banking as well. Just be able to hold that for the time being. And as you've seen, of course, in real life, it's very difficult to pass around it. You know, at about 2-second advantage. And right now, a little bit too far back to try and make a move, and Shabby just holding his line perfectly.
Sherman's gone now back up to P16. That looks like another glitch, actually, because I thought he was lapped there, but apparently not.
This is very odd. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Ferrari. He's, I feel he is lagging ever so slightly, but well, whatever's happening to him, let's hope everything does tend to improve as the race goes on. Meanwhile, I tell you what, I can imagine the Shabby wants to get off these soft tyres very soon.
Suspect, I'm not 100% sure the pit window will be within the next 2 to 3 laps. I may be wrong. I'm not sure what WS said because I didn't get that graphic for some reason.
Oh, so. Let's see, but here we go again then. Rowan, is Shabby going to cover the inside line? No, he's not. So the McLaren then down the inside in turn 1. The AlphaTauri though, trying to hold it around the outside. And it's going to be brave stuff. They almost Toddsled, and they do Toddsled. And now the inside line provides itself, and the outside line, the better line there, is a bit of contact down the exit. Shabby has to get well out of it. Otherwise, that very much could have been a monumental accident.
I was a bit scared there for a minute when he started to get onto the curve. I was like, oh no, don't spin, please. But that was, I don't think he'd get any closer than that. That was a great move there from Rowan, and I think Shabby now will be contemplating of having a pit stop now, because you look on the mini-map behind the Mercedes of Borrell, there's a bit of a gap between the Ferrari, so if he pits now, I think he may come up in that gap there.
Let's see, I'd imagine ideally probably around about lap 13 if he wants to try and push the tyres. That should allow that very easy one-stop strategy to work. Of course, you can do the aggressive two-stop here, doing a soft, medium. That has been opportunity to the past, but it seems right now that the pace difference there, the medium tyres to the soft, seem to be very even, so I think the one-stop strategy might just be the opportune strategy.
I think we're looking at closest battles on track now. It seems between, yeah, definitely between Ben and Ollie Flabbel as he almost goes into the back of the Williams there. And he seems to have a really good run out of turn 3, but it's just not really any overtaking opportunity coming up. Unless Ollie goes a little wide, but no, just keeps it within the track limit. So I'll be keeping an eye on this battle between the Williams and the Red Bull.
Yeah, most certainly. It's always good to see drivers running up behind each other. Further down the field, by the way, we'll just have a little look to see who's currently outside the top 10. It's Tamu currently in 11th, ahead of Milk in 12th. He's currently got the McLaren then right behind him in 13th. Kelvin in 14th, ahead of Burrell and Sheringham. Strolldude, Tom and Matt Tibos right down the back. But back meanwhile, as you can see that the McLaren running to the back of Milk. He's getting a little bit excited there.
Ben's got a really good run here, and Ollie, is he going to look down the inside? Ollie just has no defence there, and that is Ben now up into P4. He got a bit squirmy, did Ollie, and just opened the door for Ben, and now it's a Red Bull 3-4. But Ollie, I don't think he's going to give this up, but it looks like he has given it up, and I think because Ollie started on a used set of medium tyres as he qualified on them set of medium tyres, so I wonder if it's starting to come back to bite him now.
Yeah, there's always a possibility. Now, we know the tyre degradation around here can be extremely high order, and that's Mika, and that's the curb, which I believe you mentioned earlier on you don't want to be touching. And round goes the Aston Martin into the kitty litter, and manages to spin itself back round, and tell you what, very lucky thing there is a big gravel trap.
Alpine. That's round as well, Miku.
Aaron. Well, it's not going well for both the M's right now. He's in the wall now, Mika again, and he got the power on. And of course, we know when the tyres are hot, it's so easy just to drop the rears. As you can see him squirming away, just trying to get some kind of grip into those tyres. As the Aston Martin's now running 18th and 19th, respectively. And it has not been an afternoon to remember so far, as Wazzy now gets past Ollie Farrell as well.
Yeah, I think those medium tyres are now gone. If we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, I wonder if that's just debris.
Well, there's
no one on
there.
track there.
Yeah, the ghost of the yellow flag. So, something's going on there. What is going on in Sector 2? Let's run on board with Rowan and let's see if can we see what's going on there. Is there any debris? Doesn't look like it. So, ghosts.
Oh dear.
Well, it is getting towards spooky season, I suppose. We are in September. There's only 1 month to go until the spooky month begins. As Sheringham, meanwhile, in the pit is... Well, yeah, I think that might be the reason of the yellow flags, because he is now 19th position, but I'm pretty certain he's not 19th position, so I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
He's P15 is shown on my screen.
That was P19 just then for me, so something's not right there for him, but we'll gloss over that. Meanwhile, Tammo closing up on Harry, who's closing up on Harold. Let's see the Alpine up the inside of the Haas into turn number 1. Let's see a bit of wheel bang on the exit for good measure. And that might just allow Tammo to have an opportunity to come through on the inside of turn 3. We know it's a good diving opportunity, but he's just going to play the long game right now.
Yeah, I was thinking, will Tammo take the opportunity with the Haas driver? I was like, no, I'm not getting overtaken by another driver here, but he derated, and the sheer amount of speed Harry had because Harold derated because of the lack of ERS he had left, Harry just waltzed by, so ERS management will be key around here, it's looking like as well. I'm just seeing if there is any other close battles on track. It looks like really the battle for P3 at the moment, because there's a bit of a gap between P2 and 3 at the moment, but Shabby will be having to pit soon.
Yeah, that's going to be the crucial thing, of course, here of that 12. When does the leader decide to, well, when does second, I suppose, decide to throw the dice for a potential undercut as the yellow flag's flying, or that might be where Mika is, but he's, looks fine, so I'm not too sure what's going on down there, but, whatever it is, we'll just try and ignore it for the time being, unless we definitely see a car not moving down there, in which case there very much has been an incident. Cybeg currently in 11th position. He is ahead of 12th of Kelvin and 13th of Burrell. Starting to close up a little bit now. The Mercedes onto the back of the Williams, but really the closest action is that battle for 3rd and 4th respectively, and also 5th and 6th.
Will the Red Bull drivers battles? We have a weird yellow flag again, but there doesn't seem to be anybody who stopped on track like you say. It's going to really play with my mind. That is the formula. Goes a little wide there, but the DRS zone here is not long enough. Ben just letting Formula know he's in his mirrors. Will there be any team orders here? I don't think there will. I'm just looking at the standings here, so just give me a couple of seconds to look between the two Red Bull drivers. They're quite equal in the standings. Does Ben have a good exit out of the
He looks like he
corner?
does. Track Formula just tried to move one way and then went, you know what, I'll give you the inside. That looked like they're not going to fight each other there. That didn't look like it was going to be too much of a hard fight. Let's see, is he going to try and come straight back at him, Low? Looks like just content for a little bit of just sitting behind his teammate. If he wanted it, he would have covered the inside of turn 1, but then I think Ben would have just gone straight around the outside either way. So you can see how Ben just walks away. So I think a little bit of strategic games left for the two teammates. Let's see if Ben now can try up and close up to the top 2.
Sherman has left the session there. Must have been lagging, like you say. So it's a Red Bull 2-3-4, but sister team AlphaTauri, of course. I still, for some reason, seem to keep calling them Toro Rosso, but
I still call them Minardi. So I mean, you know, it's just is it always possible?
And there's Ollie Flabbert was now down into P6. Now, where did he start? Was it P5? I believe he started, wasn't he, on the medium tyre? So he's still within range. As Shabby, the soft runner, is now into the pits. It looks like when he'll come out behind the Mercedes, who's currently battling his teammate Kelvin. Does he have a stop-go penalty? Because it seemed a bit slow out the pit lane.
Because a bit of lag actually there, so well he's going. There we go, back out on the track there. The game just doing a little bit there as he rejoins the circuit, almost off the track there as he now comes up behind his team. And I surely imagine that this he needs to clear these two very quickly.
Oh, for sure, and his tyres will have so much more grip right now.
Oh, we got Ollie Farnwell off. Yeah, that is that's the difficult corner. Oh, thank you, ghosting system. Definitely thank you, ghosting system. So say, what would he do about that ghosting system? That could have been horrific.
Yeah, that would have definitely been the safety car, and that would have for sure ruin Shabby's race. But I believe now, would he be able to get the medium tyres towards the end of the race?
So we've got, what, 20 laps. Medium tyres normally take about 24 laps. That's what AWS said around about was the strategy for them earlier on, as Ollie's going slowly, of course. I think he's got damage.
Kelvin.
Yeah, teammate.
Easy as you like.
Doesn't look like it's going to hold him up too much. And now all the way up to Burrell in second position. Up front, rowing these lap field by 4 seconds so far from the rest of the field. We've got another yellow flags, and that's all I think just tied in the pit lane, is that not? Yes, it is.
Did he actually retire, or has he just left the session?
He's retired in the pit lane.
Oh yeah, you're right, yeah, sorry, my bad. Will that bring it out to safety car?
Should not. No, shouldn't be a safety car, of course, because he has retired in the pit lane. He should actually... Yeah, they've already put the car into the pit lane straight away, so... No safety cars. It's always good to see. We don't want having safety cars when it's unnecessary. Shabby, though, closing up. You've got another yellow flag, and that's now Mika, who's DNF'd in the pit lane. So, 2 DNFs straight in a row. As you just run board right now with Shabby, who is the man currently on a mission. He's closing up on to 10th and 9th position. And let's see.
And Harold. Sorry for butting in. The Alfa Romeo has such a good run on the straight as Harold is so low on the ERS going down that straight. And Tamo will know as the ERS light will be blinking towards the end of the straight, and Tamo will know this, so I reckon next lap Tamo will have Harold.
Meanwhile, here we are then, the Alpha Tauri around the outside of the Mercedes. That's brave stuff then around the outside there, and, well, fair play to Borrell for giving him the room, of course. Tyre advantage or not, you don't often see a car getting a run right around the outside like that on the exit of turn 3 up to 4 and 5.
What a move there, making the most of them fresh tyres. So Shabby will be doing his absolute best as he tries to looks to get past Sybig, who looking like he'll be running those hard tyres and going to soft tyres towards the end of the race. So we'll pick up our first time penalty of the race on lap 17 for Ben, track limits.
Yep, Sybig just holding his line right now, just ahead of Shabby, who knows more than anyone right now that this should be a relatively easy move now. DRS active and now pulled to the inside, and Sybig knows more than anyone right now that it's not his race to fight currently. Never know, of course, with late safety cars and whatnot, but Shabby then up now to P9 back into this race. Currently is, some 16 seconds off the race leader, and if I'm not mistaken, that he should take the lead again now, should he not?
I believe it's a 19-second pit lane, is it? So yeah, he'll be 3 seconds ahead of Ronan. So
of course, Ronan will surely be going for a set of soft tyres. So role reversal then. We saw how the soft and the mediums behaved when they were relatively even, but what is going to be like with new softs and one mediums? That's going to be the more interesting question. So we've got a very interesting strategy here.
I was thinking for Shabby now, did he kill his tyres trying to get past the other cars? So now he's got a bit of a gap between himself and Tamo now, as Tamo has backed a little bit off Harold now, so it looks like he made a little bit of an error somewhere. So yeah, he's not really using any of his ERS at the moment. But I always find like when your ERS hits towards a bit of a low point, it's really hard to generate it back. So Harold has got a bit of a hard race on his hand in my book.
Yeah, of course. The ERS so crucial around on this game, of course, especially since we had no rich mix, of course, which was banned in the real life season in 2020, of course, was still in the 2020 game. We had to change your fuel mode, but for 2021 they have taken that option away, which, although I suppose is quite realistic, I do miss it quite a lot, because it does sometimes make the strategies very much all about ERS management, which can sometimes just take away from the racing a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure, but I found now driving again, we actually do have the other 5 seconds to do that, some multi again. Multi, excuse me, Miku.
Milk, it's got, I keep calling him Milk. It's Miku, but I've called him Milk 3 times now, and I've only to realise that's not how you pronounce his name. Sorry, Miku.
Do you want to take up a milk or something, Evil?
As
we look at Tamo go down the inside of the Haas driver. I do apologise for your milk conversation, but Tamo is now up into P7 on the Haas driver. That was coming as ERS again of Herald looks like it slowed him down as he ran out. So that's Tamo up to P7. That was coming, but a lap later than I predicted.
Just noticed, by the way, to Tamo, he's not got his helmet on. Is that for you as well? Can you see that?
Yeah, I've been getting a bit breezy. I don't know about you.
He's doing the old Mark Webber strategy there from 2013. Yeah, he hasn't got the helmet on. I'm sure the FIA will take a dim view on that one, but that's interesting. That's an awesome little glitch from the game, I must say. No helmet. You can see the driver's eyes, and I'd always actually love to see if you chose, for example, one of the F1 drivers, you could see their faces properly. That would be interesting. I mean, a little fun fact if it was true, but I don't think it is. But that is their avatar under there. So Totamo must indeed, I think it's that. I'm just trying to spot who it is. It looks like a woman's face under there. So that will be interesting to see if Totamo has indeed had a woman underneath the helmet. Is in the pit. They meanwhile comes Jake.
Onto the soft tyres. You're doing a 2-stop. Will the soft tyres last?
It's 15 laps. Should do. I mean, they lasted what, 13 laps for.
So he's triggered the undercut here.
Yeah, so he's triggered the undercut then. So let's see. Borrell also in the pit lane as well. So he should come out just ahead of his teammate Stolduch, who's currently in P13. In terms of stops, by the way, a few still yet to stop. So we've got the top 7 all still to come in, 9th, 10th, and we've also got 14th still to stop as well.
I'm really sorry to put in Tamo and Harry are getting quite close on track at the moment. They were almost, well, Tamo was literally almost inside the gearbox of Harry as he went on towards the back straight here. And as we go towards the last corner, what exit does Tamo get? But you have to bear in mind the undercut triggered by Jake as Formula and Wolsey have responded. Will these two drivers respond here? No, Harry goes into the pits and Tamo stays out another lap. So as we see all the drivers now going into the pits, what does Ronan do?
Yeah, Ronan now, he's got that gap now, 15 seconds. It's coming down more and more. Ben also, he's not really opened that gap or closed that gap. But Benny looks pretty set so far, of course, for a potential second position. But Track Formula, who has just come in the box, I believe. Indeed he has, of course. He might still take that position back from his teammates. So that could be very intriguing indeed, as the telemetry decides to have a little bit of a moment right there. As meaning we can't see what gaps are between the drivers. I can tell you right now is Matt Tibbles and Stoldu battling together for 15th and 14th position. That's going to be brave stuff there. And he really just forced Matt to say, don't try it. And Matt, knowing more than anyone else does, that probably to back out of that one, because it's difficult to go side by side through turn 4.
God, such a small pit lane there. No wonder. I'm not surprised Sherman's got a speed in the pit lane there, because it is literally a really tight pit lane. As soon as you come out that banking right-hander, as Jake sets the fastest lap of the race, that will be making those currently still yet to pit raise their eyebrows, and it should be towards the end of this lap now. They'll be pitting Herald and Roan.
Meanwhile, oh there, and that's Tamo and Harry colliding. And that, unfortunately, that was just a little bit too close for comfort, and Tamo tried to give space. It's so difficult in turn number 3. We got a Ferrari. Is that Jake or is that Sheringham?
Sherman.
Oh, that's Ben! Ben's off!
Oh, no.
And what's happened there?
Has he clipped the curb? You see that curb that I keep mentioning? Exit of turn 8.
Well, I imagine it must be there, because, I mean, that's the only place I'd imagine he's gone off. Doesn't look like he's done any damage to the Red Bull, so... Well, rotten bitter luck then for the man who was running in what really should be net to second position.
Shabby gets P2. He looks to charge and try and create a gap now as he's got, who's it, his closest rival on track now will be Formula and the fresh set of soft tyres. Shabby pitted 8 laps ago on medium tyres. Ben has retired from the race.
Yeah, he's retired in the pit lane.
In the pit lane.
And we got a yellow flag for, is that Matt Tibbos? It's the only Aston Martin in the race, so it should be Matt Tibbos. Indeed, it is Matt Tibbos. He's dropped it as well as there goes the race leader up past as well, and certainly proving to be a very slippy one right now, isn't it?
Indeed. And Rowan, I believe he should be pitting now because it's only himself and Harold, I think, are yet to stop. But Formula will be coming at a rate of knots to Shabby. Shabby will have to think about his air shooters.
Should come out behind him, should he? He might even come out behind Wazzy if it's a 20-second pit window, which you believe it is. Now, the theory, of course, let's see. Another set of super soft tyres.
As up in the pits.
No, it's a bit of lag. Don't worry, it's a bit of lag. Not to worry. Shabby should take the lead of this race. Theory, second and third third position of track formula should. No, never mind. So the gap is much less than we thought. It's about 15 seconds of the pit lane. So, my apologies then. So Rowan takes the lead, and well, Rowan should really be able to just control this race then. So Shabby lost a huge amount of time then.
I'm just trying to think of what happened there, but then again, still 11 laps to go. There's still a chance of a safety car.
Borrell off the road. That's turn 3.
This could leave him vulnerable to Kelvin here, as he would have cooked his tyres, Borrell here, so he needs to be a bit careful. And looking at his ERS usage, yeah, he's only got 5% ERS left to Kelvin's 76%. So Borrell will be a bit of a sitting duck here. And Kelvin and Cyberg has spun it. He's clipped the inside curve, hasn't he?
Yep, inside curve into the wall. I don't think he's out of the race. Indeed, there you can just see the Pirelli sign getting demolished. And I don't think he's got any damage to the car either, but that corner being so tricky out there. And it looks like we got another yellow flag somewhere as well. Is that the Haas having a mistake as well? I think it was. But boy, howdy, we got a lot of little twitchy moments around Zandvoort by the sea there.
Who was that? Oh, is that Sherman's laggy throughout? Yeah, it is. He went inside the barrier and now he's appeared back onto the track.
The teleporting Ferrari. Your day in the life of the Ferrari mechanics. That's the ghost of Sheringham. Oh there. Oh well, he's oh there. Well, he's really. Oh God. oh dear. This is. Oh my. Well. I mean, this is very laggy. Yellow flags. Unsurprising. That's track formula. Oh. And so many people are making mistakes into turn. Is that turn 10?
10. That was turn 8, that. Exit of turn 8.
Ah, yeah, turn 8, my apologies.
Again.
And Breeze be finding all sorts of troubles. There is that Sheringham. Is he lagging or is he driving? Mick has left. Sheringham's doing some Houdini tricks. It's lovely day in the office here. Rowan, meanwhile, leads this race 2.8 seconds from Shabby. Wazzy in third. And if you see that yellow flag, that's Sheringham's Ferrari doing things.
Is he retiring or has he just stopped out on track? He's just stopped on the track at the moment. You can't park there.
Safety car.
He's caused a safety car. His car's just stopped on track.
That is... What is going on in this game right now? I must say, this is the weirdest thing. What?
He's now on the main straight.
Wow.
Okay, and the camera angle is really far away from the track.
Everyone's in the pit lane now. That is triggered an absolute flurry of pit lanes now, and I would be surprised to see second, third, fourth, at least Shabby in the pit lane.
Shabby, I do. Well, if he doesn't pit, he'll be sitting duck. But we aim for track position, as you know. The only real place for overtaking really is turn 1 and maybe exit turn 9 to 10.
As well, you've seen a few position changes in Larry. Well, surely you will be seeing him in, because he should come out with the gap to Harry. It's what, 10 seconds, but a pit lane delta is what, It's 15 seconds. Yeah, you can see that Rowan just trying to be a little bit cheeky and say go in the pit lane, and I think he made his mind up very early he was going to come in the pit lane, because if he was staying out on that set of mediums, he would have been an absolute sitting target, and he should come out. I think he might come out just behind the Cara Harry, but he'll be able to fresh a set of tyres. Needs to overtake a lot of drivers, remember, of course. There's Harold in the pit lane, also in the pits, Tamo. And these two should come out way ahead there, as Sheringham's not left the session, has he? So he's still going with his little bit of lag. So he's caused a safety car, he left the session, but he's back in it. So whatever's going on, I feel it's kind of set a race up for the rest of the race, but it's not really the safety car we want, really.
Really, no. Rowan is only on 2-lap old soft tyres, and Wolsey is on 5-lap old tyres. The oldest soft tyre runner is Jake, because he was the one who triggered the undercut. So I believe really Shabby will be the one to watch. The best he can name for is really P2 now, because Rowan, well, I don't want to say it, I'm not going to jinx him, but he's in a good position, let's put it that way.
Yeah, Rowan has got the pound in the cookie jar, and the safety car, of course, just leading them away, as we are just going to be waiting really for, I believe it's Matt Tibbos will be closing to the field, and then we should get back underway.
Sherman's ghost car is now between Tamo and Harold, but I'm not even sure if that's where Sherman's car is on the screen. I don't know if that's where the game says he is, but he actually isn't. So I just hope his car doesn't, you know, just goes through everybody and just completely mess up the lobby. But
looks like it's holding position. As I say that, as the Alfa Romeo trying to get past him there. He's good. Tamo just ghosting through, and let's see if what's going on here. Is he just got past? No, he hasn't. He's sitting back in. You can just see he can run his pretty much inside him as much as he wants there, can he? And so Tamo's not got a driver anymore.
He's now overtaking. Yeah, I'd wonder if Sherman wants to come back into the lobby and just retire his car, because it seems to me he's just left the session, and it may cause a bit of a safety car calamity really here, because with AI cars there tends to be a massive gap between the rest of the field when something like this happens. So Tamo will know this and will be getting quite frustrated.
Oh, I mean, Tamo right now, he's not even in the car. He's well, at least on my screen. I'm not sure if you can see it, Matt.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the stream.
That is very bizarre. Well, I mean, he didn't have a helmet on earlier on. Now he hasn't got a head. Safety car in this lap. Well, if this race could be any more bonkers, it very much has gone bananas right now. Magic.
I think we found your ghost car, people.
No, we literally have now got the ghost car.
It's Tamo.
Yeah, Tamo is the ghost. It's like Scooby-Doo. As there we go then, back underway with, some 7 laps to go then. You can see everyone just through the banking, just slowing themselves up. Rowan, if I was Rowan, I would just leave it as late as I could and then bolt it. Knows that everyone else is just going to bunch up. We know how easy it is to triple up, and now he's gone for it. Right when he needs to do, and now here Trap Formula going to try slither around the outside of Wazzy then into turn 1. Wazzy there, is he going to be contact on the exit? Slide contact, holds the line there as Trap Formula straight up into second position. What a move from him. Is here you can see Shabby trying to slither around the outside of turn 3 on Jake, and he'll have to back out of that one.
Bit of a lawnmower there from Shabby there, as we have a lost position from Miku. I almost said Milk myself there, and he's lost a position to Cybig there.
Storm Dutch as well, battling away. So a lot of drivers battling. This is great racing here. As up the inside comes the Haas there on the Mercedes, and can't quite get the move done. The Haas trying to go around the outside. That'd be brave stuff. Can he hold the line? Yes, he can go right around the outside. What a move then from Tom.
Amazing stuff there, but I'm just keeping a close eye on Shabby's progress now. Jake on 8 lap. Old soft tyres to Shabby's 1 lap. Jake will know this. He'll try and hold Shabby for as long as possible, but He hasn't really got a teammate in front now. Of course, DRS is not enabled yet, so it'll be up to the driver's use of overtake as people make themselves known in each other's mirrors as the Haas driver goes a bit deep into turn 1, but nothing Straduzzi can do.
That's good news, everyone. Tamo's got his head back.
Hurrah! But still no helmet.
Yeah, no helmet, but he's got a head. Which is the crucial thing here. We don't want robots driving our Formula 1 cars. Meanwhile, Rowan still leads this race from track 4. They're in second. Third position, Wazzy, Jake and Shabby. That is the top 5. Harry a little bit dropping ever so slightly back right now, with Tamo right up behind him. Borrell in 8th position. Heralding 9th so far, ahead of Kelvin, Tom, Stolduke, Saibig, Miku and Matt currently in 15th, and of course Mr. Sheringham down in 16th position, who of course has now got out of the way of everybody. I'm just waiting for DRS to be activated, and right now it looks like Shabby's starting to drop ever so slightly back.
Yeah, I've noticed that a bit now. I was just looking, I'm a bit geeky like this, but I'm looking at people's ERS usage. Rowe, I don't think he's actually been using it. He's got 94%. He's almost got full capacity to Formula 70. Well, he'll know the DRS strength round here, so he is literally binding his time, trying to create a gap, but at the same time not use his ERS. So that takes a lot of credit. I mean, he's using the grip of his 3 laps fresher tyres, so that may have something to help with it as well. But yeah, 4 laps to go. I still don't know where the results will end, I tell you that.
Meanwhile, I'll tell you who is closing up is Tamo again, now on the back of Harry. Meanwhile, his teammate currently running in 3rd position, doing a solid job so far, I must say. The Alfa Romeos, they are the highest scoring team currently in the order, with a 3rd and a 7th respectively. I believe that will outperform everyone else potentially. It might be very close to McLaren actually. I think McLaren might just have the edge in terms of points this afternoon as Track Formula continues to try and close that gap. 5/10 is the current positioning, as Miku gets a penalty behind. I'm telling you what, I'm relatively surprised that Shabby's not managed to find a way past Jake, but I suppose right now what's helping him here is because Jake's getting DRS off of Wazzy, Wazzy's getting DRS off of Trap Formula, and Trap Formula's getting DRS of Rowan. So really this is kind of inadvertently not helping Shabby at all. And Shabby, you can see, just looks so much more confident through the corners, so much more fast through the corners, but just can't do anything.
As that who spun off?
Tamo.
Oh, unbelievable. Oh, sorry to point out, but Tom and Kelvin are quite close on track. Tom almost goes into the rear of Kelvin, but they are really, really close to each other. Currently, are Tom and Kelvin at the moment. It's just a battle for P9 at the moment. We have to be careful because we've got Straduzzi just behind, ready to pounce it.
Meanwhile, here, look at Shabby trying to cut over you, Matt. But here's Shabby. Now has he got the inside line, turn number 1? Can he now just squeeze the Ferrari as much as he can without forcing him off the road? Yes, he can force him as much without going off the road. And he's through then up into 4th position. Next up, Wazzy. Then he can have a little try and go for the cars ahead. Really, right now, he needs to overtake Wazzy this lap. Next lap, Trap Formula. Then try and get the race leader.
That's a big ask, that, for Shabby. But never say never. As Kelvin almost loses the rear at that amazing corner of turn number 8. But he managed to keep it facing the right way, so that was a good save there from Kelvin. But his rear tyres will be screaming a bit here, so saying that, he gets a really good exit on the back straight, so never mind.
Yeah, it's always fun to see. Meanwhile, I'm just keeping an eye here on the man currently in 4th position. And let's see, DRS activated, but not close enough to try anything. I'll tell you what, Rowan, just holding position. He's holding that gap wonderfully, by the way.
Borrow goes round the outside. What a move there from the Mercedes driver on the Alpine up into P6. Does the Alpine driver fight back? No. Running out of VRS here now. As we hit, we are on the penultimate lap of the race. Where has them laps gone by, Evil?
Oh, it's just flown under the radar here. I mean, the circuit is quite small, so no wonder you see the laps go fast. But for 36 laps, of course, we're only, what, 8 laps off a full race here at Spa. Which, I mean, to be fair, we have also got longer than the race at Spa this year. So, I mean, there's that one. So, always interesting little statistic right there. Of course, every race in PSGL does will always be longer than the race at Spa. And that's just a fact.
My goodness, Tom on Kelvin. He's got an amazing exit here. Will he try and look to go around the outside? Oh my goodness gracious me. Interlocking wheels. And that is fantastic there for Tom. Can Straduzzi get an opportunity? No, but now is Tom within the DRS detection zone of Harold? I believe he is. Yes, he is, and they just have no ERS to play with. Oh, they're all derating. Just look at the ERS lights blinking. They literally have nothing to play with at the moment now, as Harry and Harold are getting quite close to each other. So hopefully the two Haas drivers don't collide like they did in the real F1 race. But yep, looking like a good solid drive from the Haas drivers in all fairness.
Yeah, 8 for 9 so far. Of course, it's not the lofty heights of where they probably both want to be. I'll tell you what, Shabby is getting closer and closer to Wazzy with every passing corner. Is he going to have a little look up the inside here? He'll be very optimistic and it won't end well. He thinks better of it. Now, the idea here would have been just stick as close as you are behind him and then try and get the old DRS down here. But that's not gone well because he's got too much behind him. Lost all of the benefits, of course, of the lack of downforce. So now he's dropped right back down behind, and Wazzy isn't going to, might not get DRS off the car ahead, which would have provided absolutely perfect opportunity for the man currently in third. But the man currently in first, Rowan, he'll cross the line here in Zandvoort to take the victory then from Trap Formula. Wazzy third, Shabby fourth, Jake fifth, then comes Borrow, Harry in sixth, Harold and Tom 7th and 8th, Kelvin ahead of Sybig, Matt Tibos in 12th, Stoldukes in 13th, Mick in 14th, Tamo crossing the line. He's going to be a very dejected 15th position, and Sheringham's in last position, but of course had a little bit of lag.
Indeed, I mean, unfortunately for that spin on lap 1 for Tom, but he seemed to recover quite well and get it up into P9 as he was right on the back of his teammate actually in P8, so he had strong pace there, and interesting celebration there, but I love it. Great celebration there from Aron, but he's solid drive there, kept out of trouble, kept it clean, and yeah, well deserved win there from the Locan driver.
Indeed, so McLaren on the top step of the podium, then joining him through this grid Trap Formula. A fantastic drive then from 8th position up to 2nd. Wazzy up from 9th to 3rd. Bad race for Shabby, or was race leader. He drops down into 4th position. Good race from Jake as well. And Borrell up a lot of positions. Harry up almost 9 positions. As well as Kelvin up from 19th on the grid. A lot of drivers making huge gains from this race. Who would you say is your driver of the day?
Well, I'd say my driver of the day goes to Jake in the Ferrari. He was the one who triggered the undercut, got the track position, and got into a solid P5 from P12 on the grid.
He didn't mind driver there. He's got to go to Borrell, of course, who got caught up earlier on. He had damage, remember, right early on. He pitted very much at the start of the race. He was plumb dead last for about 6-7 laps. He's come back through to finish 6th position, so that is my driver of the day as well. But thank you everyone for your top 3 row in Trap Formula, and of course the German Wazzy in 3rd position as well. But of course that rounds off Lat 1, and as well, Matt, of course, hopefully we'll see you next week potentially.
Hopefully, to see if nothing gets in the way, but hopefully I will see you all and see you next week, Evil. It was great to be in the box.
Indeed, but I, of course, have been Mr. Evil Dragon. Red Matt has been, well, Matt. And we'll see you next week, of course, where we come to more beautiful circuits around the Formula 1 calendar. Until then, of course, take care, and bye-bye.